Hey, it's Glenn with the Ultimate Freedom, and I'm at Blue Compass RV in Columbia, South Carolina, or Lexington to be more accurate. And today we're going to look at a used rig that I think is a lot of bang for the buck and a good price. Stay tuned to the end and I'll give you the price. Let's go through this thing and see what it offers you to get you into an RV affordably and get you doing what you want to do without paying what the others pay. You can do it. Let's do it. Let's start right now. We're looking at a Springdale Keystone made by Keystone RV. It's called a Mini. On the tongue, it has a hand crank, going to keep you in shape. You can swap that out for a power jack anytime you want. A single bottle that you could upgrade to, that's a 20 pounder. You could do a 30 pounder or, get more propane and keep it a single. And it has a battery box that's already set up for two, which I would definitely do out of the gate. Two good batteries. And when you buy a used RV from a dealer, see if you can get new batteries out of them. See if you can get a sewer hose out of them. See if you can get a water hose out of them. Get everything out of this dealer that you can when you buy from a dealer. And I did check with this dealer, Blue Compass RV in Columbia, South Carolina. Every used rig has a 180-point PDI, pre-delivery inspection. They make sure everything on the rig works the day you drive it off the lot. Now, there's no warranty. It's used. But the day you drive it off the lot, you get to see everything work on it. And so that's the advantage of buying from a dealer over a private party. So let's look at the numbers on this thing. Now, this rig can be towed by almost anything. The unloaded weight is 3,430 pounds and the max weight is 4,400 pounds. That is pretty awesome. You can tow this with just about anything. What this is right here on the side is that's called solar on the side. So the solar panels that you deploy out on the ground, they have a plug. You plug that right in there, and the solar from those have their own charge controller. You plug it into that, and that will charge your batteries from the solar on the ground. That's what this is, okay? And it's got the hole back here for the storage. That is locked, and I did not bring my key, which is a standard key. So let's see if it's a pass-through storage or if it's just, it does look like a pass-through. Let's see if this side's locked. Yep, so both sides are locked and it looks like it does have a pass-through storage there, which is very helpful if it's pass-through. That helps a lot. Coming around this way, it is a 30 amp rig. Here's your 30 amp plug. Keep these prongs clean because a lot of power goes through these little prongs, and I've seen so many of these melted, you wouldn't believe it. So 30 amp power, single axle, which means I'm going to be doing about 60 miles an hour. I don't want to get sketchy on the highway. Fresh water connection. Now this is your fresh fill, gravity fill for your fresh tank. And this is your city water connection to use the water pressure from the RV park. Down below, we've got a very straightforward gray and black dump. It looks like an on-demand water heater, which is an upgrade. And on the rear and on the front, we've got stabilizers, and those help a lot. Also, we have an opening here. Ask them for the cap when you buy this, and you can store your sewer hose in there. On the back here, there was a while during the pandemic, they weren't giving ladders, they didn't have the parts. So that's made to hook a ladder on there. Ask them about that ladder and see if they've got one for you. And it looks like it's pre-wired for a backup camera. There will be power at that location so that you can put a camera. And this is your cable from the park, which I've never used in my life. Okay, you got your spare tire coming around this way. On this side, that's your furnace on the outside right there. And you've got an automatic awning. You've got stable steps, which is nice. You've got the big grab handle, which is nice. An upgraded keypad entry, which is nice. It looks like this was a lovingly owned unit. And you've got power, electric power for the campsite. Let's go ahead, take a nice look at the outside. Then we'll step inside and take a look at it. There's what she looks like. This thing can be towed by anything, even an SUV. Let's step inside. All right, coming to the door. Closes firmly. It looks like it seals nicely. I don't see any warping or any place that it would leak. And you're met with friction hinges. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with friction hinges. I'm not a fan because the friction means you work this little bit right here, back and forth, back and forth. This gets loose and eventually the door separates. So I'm not a fan of friction hinges. It's made so that the door doesn't slam on you. I'd rather have a hold back and not friction, but I don't get a choice. They didn't ask me. So the screen is in great shape, top to bottom. Screen door shuts nicely and latches. Okay, let's head up inside. Stable steps, I'm a fan. I love them. They are so much better. Coming inside, I'm gonna stand right here and do some panning. So you've got a queen size bed right here. You have storage beside it and storage above it. And you have a window on that side. And then you've got your dinette right here that makes into a bed. And you've got bunks. Incredibly useful. You don't have to have kids to use these bunks. They're amazing. There, I had a smudge on my camera. I wasn't focusing. I'm gonna have to check that other footage. So you don't have to have kids to use these bunks. They can be used for pets. They can be used for storage. It's quite a useful space. And so there's the basic layout. The bed, the dinette, the kitchen, and the bunks, and the bathroom in the back. You've got a television right there, and you've got your furnace for your heat. That is for your water and your water pump switch and checking your batteries, things like that, turning them on and off. This remote is for your water heater, and this one I would imagine is for the television. Coming around this way, in the kitchen, you've got a small microwave, a hood with a hood fan, which is always helpful, a 2-burner stove, which is fine, you don't need more, and they didn't give you an oven, which is nice, because all we do is use it for storage, but they gave you drawers, which are more useful than that silly oven. Okay, and storage down here, and a good bit of storage. Got your sink and faucet, plastic sink, plastic faucet, but they'll get the job done. Up here, you've got a really nice Bluetooth speaker that you can take outside or listen to inside and just stream music to it from your phone, like everybody on the planet does. So let's see if I can go up here, sit on the bed, and then give you a full view of the RV from this angle. Now I'm sitting on the bed, the master bed, and to get an idea of what the room looks like, you have to look at the floor. There's my big feet. And here's the room inside this rig with no slide. And it's not bad at all. It's pretty roomy, actually. Coming over here, you've got a full-size 12-volt fridge. Big freezer, big refrigerator. Very nice. Down below, you've got your furnace. It is not ducted. Your heat comes out right there, and that's the heat for the whole rig. And on this side under the bed, you've got your converter, your fuses, and your breakers. And then here is the bottom bunk with its own window, and the top bunk with a light above and no window. And kids love these spaces. They really do. Now let's take a look at the bathroom. And the bathroom did surprise me in this. So you got your full-size residential height foot flush toilet. It's plastic. Full-size residential foot flush plastic toilet. You've got your sink, storage under the sink, a big medicine cabinet with lots of storage. Your fan right there, typical 5-inch fan. A skylight in your shower. And the people that owned it added these baskets. Looks like they had one there that you need to replace and cover up that piece of broken paper. And your shower. And the shower looks like it's big enough for me, but it would be a challenge on height. Because of the skylight, I think when my head is going to be up in there. Yep. So let's turn you around here. So I'm 6'2", 275 pounds, and I can take a shower in here. Coming up from the toilet, they give you some hooks on the wall, and you can add a bunch more hooks. You can add baskets, you can add rings for towels, put stuff everywhere. And a big medicine cabinet, that's nice. And let's look at it this way from the bathroom. Now the AC that this rig has is the best roof AC I've ever seen. Make sure it works. So again, I've said this before, and if you didn't see my other videos on it, I'll say it now. This is the GE Roof Air. It's the coldest blowing roof AC I have ever seen. Within 2 minutes, I got 38 degrees out of that thing at the source. A lot of them were DOA, dead on arrival. Make sure you see that thing turn on and blow cold, and if it does, you've got the best air conditioner that I've seen, bar the brand new Furrion. So that's the inside of this rig. There's my lunch. And water, gotta stay hydrated. So, the price of this rig, let's step outside, I'll give you a view of it, and I'll tell you the price. So to me, this looks to be a really good used rig. I looked around inside, I saw no signs of leakage from the roof. I saw no signs of leakage from any plumbing, which is good. $15,995. That's what they're asking. This one belongs to the dealership. They also at Blue Compass RV do consignments, but even the consignments they do a PDI on, and before you get it, a pre-delivery inspection, they do a 180-point pre-delivery inspection and address any issues before you drive it away. And so that's the advantage of buying used at a dealer. Also, a dealer can finance you if you want financing. $15,995. I think that's a screaming deal and could make a family really happy, or a couple, or a person. I think it's a good rig for a good price. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.